Welcome to the Commercial Kitchen Chronicles, the original food service equipment repair podcast built by technicians for technicians. Whether you're on the front lines of repair, keeping the kitchen running smoothly, or just passionate about the food service repair industry, this podcast is your go-to source for expert insight, tech tips, and real stories from the field. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Commercial Kitchen Chronicles, live from AHR 2025 in Orlando. So I'm excited to be here today. I have some pretty good friends of mine here. We have Michael Provenzano and Joe DeVries. I want to say DeVries, sorry. From RIDGID, and we're going to go over some stuff they got coming out, or actually had come out last year. This thing was pretty impressive. So I did the RIDGID Experience last year, and we got a first-hand look at it there. But I have seen this thing flooded social media, flooding the market, and it is just out there killing it. So How are you guys today?
We're doing really well. First off, we just want to say thank you. We're all excited to speak with you, and it was great seeing you up in our headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio, just a few weeks ago. Good to see you again here.
Yep. It's I was amazed to be picked for that. So I'll start with that for a little bit because it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I still don't know. I was like, how was I chosen? I've met so many cool people. So many people in the factory have so much pride in making the products right there in Elyria. Yeah. And it's a really cool facility, and you guys have added on a lot too. Yeah. So I just seen that grand opening or a little showcase you guys did a couple weeks ago, and you guys are killing it up there.
Yeah. We love Cleveland. The people that we have are just tremendous. The passion that are in our employees that are making our jaws right here in America is just awesome to see, and we're really excited to build on to what we've done in the past there.
So let's talk about the RP251. That's the latest press tool you guys released last year.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of the features. So what sets it apart from the previous models or generations of the press tool?
Yeah, so this has been, kind of a labor of love for the last, year or so. Really, my project here, and we're super excited to bring this one to the market. We did a lot of, end user research, so we pulled a lot of different people and, really wanted to come up with a tool that is, right for each specific end user. So, really, we worked on the size of the tool. So as you'll notice, it's much smaller than our previous generation. It's much lighter. So we moved the trigger up to the front of the tool. So that's a really awesome feature. It's perfect for one-handed operation. You can open the jaw and actuate the tool all in one. So speaking of the trigger, that actually turns on the tool now. So that was some of the feedback we got, is that it's more favorable not to have the button in the back. So like if you're up doing a fitting and, you don't want to press the button and then reach up and do that all at the same time. So now it's all in one motion you can do. You can press the trigger, it turns it on, and then, you can run a cycle on the tool, open the jaw with one hand and take it off.
I like that feature a lot because, you get a fitting ready or something and you set the tool down and it times out. Just It's a safety feature so you don't burn up the battery, kill your battery, save some of that life of that battery throughout the day. And like you go to press and it's like, oh, nothing. So you got to pull it back down. You can hit the button, wait, do it again. But having it on that trigger is a really cool feature. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that was, from feedback from end users like yourself and, many other people out there. So, we listened and that's kind of, what we came up with. It's awesome. We also have 360-degree head swivel on there. So speaking of like ergonomics and, when you get up to a fitting, you can spin it all the way around. Mm-hmm. Pair that with our rings that we have, and there's really no fitting that you can't reach, all in one swoop there. So there's that, and then the lighting on there, best in class lighting. It's got a light ring that goes all the way around the tool, so you can pretty much use it as a flashlight at this point.
Yeah, it's really bright. There's some videos, some guys in some really tight, dark places using that thing, and they don't even have a camera light. I mean, they're just using that to light it up for the video. It's really cool. So.
Yeah. So not only ergonomics do we really focus on, but also it has a brushless motor. So what that means to you is that there's no scheduled maintenance on it. This tool will pretty much last for as long as you need it. It's probably going to be the last compact tool that you buy because it'll work so long. But in terms of durability, we know that brushless is really important. It's just really an awesome tool. We're super excited to have it out in the market. Like you mentioned, we launched this back in October-ish, end of September, early October. So we got almost about 6 months under our belt now, getting close to it, and overall really positive feedback so far. So
That's cool. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys using it, and they love it. That swivel head, compact, light. It's really hitting a lot of key factors these guys like, and it's a great tool.
yeah. And I got to mention one more thing too. I'd be remiss if I forgot. So it does have tool locking on it also. So that's kind of a new feature that we launched with this tool. So if your tool walks off the job site, you can lock the tool, and you can do that a couple different ways. You can, if it walks off the job site, you can go right to the RIDGID Link app and lock that so that nobody else can use it at that point. Or you can do manual locking, so you can set number of cycles or duration. So you could do like 3 cycles. If you wanted to lend it out to somebody, they do 3 cycles, and then it'll lock and make sure it comes back to you. Or you can do duration. So if you want to let somebody borrow it for like a weekend, you can set that time on there. Kind of the same situation as well. After that certain time period, it'll lock as well.
That's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah. Really utilizing the RIDGID Link app. It's really important that you set that up at time of purchase and claim ownership of that tool.
So someone else doesn't claim ownership and they lock your tool? That'd be bad.
Yeah, but overall, just an awesome feature that we, kind of launched with the tool, and we're super excited for it. So
I mean, that's a great feature. You get on these big job sites, and you always hear horror stories of someone's job box getting broke into or something. But if you have the ability to lock it so it can't be used, that's a pretty cool feature. Save the guy some money. I mean, no one likes, it's terrible things like that happen, but it is a reality in the world today. But if you can lock that tool and render it useless to somebody else,
Absolutely, yeah.
So the battery, is that the same battery as before? Has there been any advancements or changes with the battery on that?
Yeah, it's the same 12-volt, 2.5 amp hour battery.
Okay.
So if you have a previous generation of compact tool, it'll work the same. Same with jaws. So it's the same compact series jaws for a bunch of different applications. Up to 1.25 inches on copper, up to 1 inch on carbon steel, refrigeration up to 1.75 inches with RLS jaws.
Wow.
And up to 1.5 inches on PEX tubing. So.
About how many presses can you get out of a battery? Say a full battery, you start off in the morning, about how long can you go?
On 3/4 inch type L copper, you get about 180 presses per charge.
That's pretty much a full day.
Yeah, pretty much a full day.
If you're a service plumber, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sweet. That's good to know. So, what types of material? You already said it. You get the RLS. You have different types. You want to run through the different jaws you have and what types of products we can press with?
Sure. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, you can do up to 1.25 inches on copper with the Copper Series ProPress jaws. The up to 1 inch on MegaPress carbon steel. Up to 1 3/8 inches on the refrigeration with the RLS jaws, and 1.5 inches on PEX tubing with the Pure Flow fittings. And then, like I mentioned before, we have the rings as well. So that's a really nice kind of added bonus with the compact tool and standard tool as well. Pretty much any fitting that any area where a fitting is at, you can get to it with that. So it's really kind of one of our best kept secrets almost at this point. A lot of people know about them, but we see them out there, and every time we talk to somebody about it, they're like, "Wow, that's awesome!" Yeah,
those compact jaws are a lifesaver. You get that ring, just put it in the wall. I always see like right up against there. I'm like, this guy going to braze this? Is he going to solder this or what? And then he pulls out that ring, slides it around there, and presses it in the wall. And I was like, even better. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Those rings are a game changer for sure. So, has RIDGID introduced any new technology into the RP351? I mean, 251. We've already ran through most of it, but anything else that's new on there?
Yeah, I mean, really the biggest thing is the tool locking that we talked through. Brushless motors, kind of new technology in the compact space for us at least. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
the no service cycle is kind of nice. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just go.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we would first launch that. We launched that with our RP350 and 351. We've extended it to this compact tool, and what our customers are really looking for is that productivity, that uptime that you get out of our tools, out of a RIDGID tool, and that brushless motor really allows you to do that with that no scheduled maintenance.
Yeah, that's an important thing for guys that are out there every day pressing. If your tool goes down, what do you do? I mean, or if you have to send it in for service, after so many presses, you're down without that for however long it takes to get it taken care of. And with the no regular maintenance, it's just go and go and go. So that's a really cool feature.
Yeah. Just don't use it in the cold if you can avoid that.
Yeah. I've heard people talk about it. I've heard people like, they take it in the house or they throw it up on their dash and they drive if they got to use it first thing in the morning. So that's just something that comes with it. I mean,
Sure.
you learn. Does that one have like a light? If it's too cold, it won't work. Or
Yep. There's standard with any of our tools. There's indication lights of when you're out of temperature. It will work in the cold. Obviously, I'm just kind of joking a little bit.
Yeah.
If it gets too cold, that's
frozen tundra.
Yeah.
If it gets too cold, I don't want to work. So I don't blame it.
Right.
Right. So 25 years of pressing innovations last year.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we celebrated 25 years last year. So we introduced press in partnership with Viga in 1999. So since then, there's been a tremendous amount of innovation that we've built into the tools that we've worked with on Viga to bring out new systems. And it was a great to celebrate. We had RIDGID Experience last year once again, and we love bringing everybody together. And it was just extra special to be celebrating that 25 years of press as well.
Yeah, RIDGID Experience, man. I still, like, every time I think about it, I just get a smile on my face. Like, the camaraderie, the friendship I made, even the electricians from the Greenlee side, it was so cool just to hang out outside of work. We all still talked work, of course, and social media and stuff, but just that experience of just bonding. I've made lifelong friends. I mean, I have guys that message me all the time now, just like we just talk, and it's really cool thing that you guys do. So
I will say our employees look forward to it just as much as you.
That was the funnest thing. You pull up in the bus and the employees are outside and they're screaming and clapping. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yep, absolutely.
So the team over there does a really good job with that.
Yeah.
So how has customer feedback shaped the evolution of RIDGID's press technology?
So for us, everything begins with the customer. We like to get out on the job site as much as we possibly can and be with our plumbers as much as we can to capture that feedback in terms of what they're looking for in their next press tool. Sometimes they can vocalize it. Sometimes, it's harder to do. But from just watching how they make connections, how they prep pipe, it really enables us to recognize certain pain points and add innovation into tools to ensure that it's meeting their needs as we move forward. So.
Yeah, that was a really cool part of being at RIDGID. Is like, they asked for feedback. They showed us some prototypes and most stuff like, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about that? And they asked everybody what they wanted from the next generation of tools, what they needed as far as being in the field. And you guys really listened, and it shows in the RP251.
Yeah, you definitely get that behind the curtain experience at RIDGID Experience. But I can tell you in regards to the RP115, the feedback that we get, we really focused on that handle and that trigger design, making sure that handle is as comfortable as possible. We hook up sensors to arms and measure the strain on muscles.
Really?
And we know that some plumbers care about that, some don't. But at the end of the day, we care about all of our plumbers. We want to make sure that we're providing the most ergonomic tool that's comfortable in their hand, going to reduce that strain and hopefully limit long-term issues.
Yeah, they do it long enough, they'll care.
Yeah.
They may not when they're 20-some years
true.
old, but when they get to 40, 45, 50, they'll start realizing, like, why does my arm hurt?
It's always those young ones.
I've been carrying that around for all these years, so that's really cool.
Absolutely.
What role has pressing technology played in revolutionizing plumbing and HVAC?
So you think about all the different systems that you can press now. You can press copper, you can press carbon steel, you can press PEX, and now ACR tubing as well. And it's just a phenomenal piece of equipment to drive productivity, to reduce labor savings, being able to press on a wet system, not have to break out a torch, not have to have fire watch, stand over everything afterwards. It really simplifies the process of making a connection, and you still get a really long-lasting, durable connection with a press tool. So it's really revolutionized the industry over the last 25 years, and it's been exciting to be part of.
I love it. So I'll use this example I had an oven, and they wanted to move it like 5 feet, and they're like, we can't shut down in the middle of the day to move it 5 feet. And I'm like, how long is it going to take? Somebody else wrote the estimate. They're like, oh, it's going to take a couple hours. I'm like, send me. They're like, why? I was like, I can have it done in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'll show up during lunch and I'll move this. They're like, no, you won't. I was like, okay, well, challenge accepted. So I showed up. I had a piece of pipe, a couple press fittings. I already had my one pipe ready to go. Had it cleaned, deburred, sanded, all the proper stuff supposed to do. I went in there and they're like, you can't do this. We're open. And I was like, watch. And I just slid it over, put the drain on there, pressed it, and I was out in 3 minutes. Like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, that right there is worth every single dime. Sure. I'm not firing up a torch. I'm not shutting them down. I'm in there. They're open. They're concerned. I did it in 3 minutes. I'm out the door, and they were happy. They're like, oh. And people always say, oh, the fittings are expensive. My time is more expensive than any fitting there.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely.
So it makes up for it in the long run.
Yeah, as soon as somebody gets into press, and we have a variety of press tools now available, but as soon as somebody gets into press, they recognize that value really, really quickly, and you see them not only adopt new sizes, but also adopt new pipe types as well as they progress through their evolution of press. So it's constant.
Yeah. It's been a game changer for me. I don't use it all the time, but when I do use it, it saves me from a burn watch, like I said.
Yeah.
I've got a historical building I do a lot of work at, and since it's a historical building, I have to go to the county building to get a burn permit, and it's half-hour road trip away. I got to park in a garage. I got to walk up. It's like a 2-hour process to get that burn permit, and it's a 2-hour process when I'm done to take it back, if traffic's good.
Yeah.
So I don't use the torch there anymore. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. It's 4 hours. Whatever cost we're charging for the fittings is going to be far cheaper than the 4 hours labor in my time, and I don't want to go deal with the city building. So
absolutely.
My son, I use the story all the time. He started with me. He's about 2 weeks in, and I had a refrigeration line leak, and I couldn't get up there. It had to crawl through a 2x2 light, a bunch of other stuff on top of this cooler, and he'd been here like 2 weeks, and I showed him up on the rooftop how to prep the pipe, how to do the press fittings, and then I threw some elbows, threw some pipe, the cutters, everything to prep it, and threw him up in the hole, and I was like, here's the flashlight, come out when you're done.
Yeah.
And half hour later, he's crawling out with all the tools and the extra pipe and stuff, and it was perfect.
Yep.
I was like,
Always.
so I took an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid that had been working with me for 2 weeks, and he's up there, fixing the pipes, pulled down 300 microns. I was like, man, it's probably better than it was originally. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
But it just shows that this technology can just help. You always still got to know other techniques, but this technology in spaces where you confine space or burn permits, it's a game changer.
Yeah. People are always going to break out a torch, but they're going to avoid it more often than not.
Yeah. I try to avoid as much as I can.
Yeah.
A torch is heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's bulky. You got to have nitrogen if you're brazing. It's a lot of extra steps that you don't have to do unless you have to do it. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Nice. What trends do you see coming in the future of press technology?
Yeah, so in regards to trends, there's around that productivity that we're referencing, there's different ways that we're going to be attacking that in the future. And while I'd love to share everything, we have to keep things kind of quiet. But I will say that I think tools in general, including press tools, are going to continue to get smarter and smarter, and they're going to add more value to the end user through different capabilities that aren't just the hardware on the tool.
Yeah. I mean, look how small that is, and you guys are doing some pretty big pipe sizes of how small that is. Compact.
Yeah.
It's doing a good job. So.
Yeah. You think back to the older press tools that we've had, and every single press tool has gotten down smaller and smaller.
I've heard stories of like the original ones, like with like cords and like shoulder straps because it weighs so much, and like guys are like, "Is this worth it?" And now you look at it, you're one-handed, pressing stuff, and it's great.
Yeah. I would say we were the first to launch a lithium-ion press tool back in 2007, and that really changed things for everyone. That really made be able to access different things, not have to plug in and everything. But that was a game changer at that time, 2007. Now we're talking game changers in 2025, and what's unique is we're out on job site all the time, but we're not looking to build a press tool of today. We're looking to build a press tool of tomorrow. So those trends that you're referencing, we're really digging into those, understanding like the shortage of plumbers in the industry, how we can support that, and how we can support training, getting people up to speed more quickly. Those are the trends that we're looking at and that we're going to be addressing in the future.
Yeah, you mentioned showing your son how to do pressing so quickly in that one situation. I mean, I think that's just like exactly what we're looking for. That just time savings, maximizing your uptime. The quickness of training. That's kind of the goal of press. I think overall, really.
Yeah, if I could get a lot more part manufacturers that have standard pipe sizes on the stubs, everything's generally female, so you can slide pipe in. So that's my problem. If I go to somewhere where I have a burn permit, I have to get a burn permit to braze in there. A lot of times I'll actually cheat ahead of time. I will braze in stubs on that compressor and crimp them off, seal them off. So I'll have a 6-inch stub on each fitting, and when I go into the site, I just cut out the old one. I cut those off, and I can just press everything together inside. I'll put in a press dryer. I'll put in some press flares, and then I go. The time I've saved on some jobs is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, guys quoted all day. I'm in and out in like 2 hours. Like, how do you do it? Well, this fancy little tools in my truck. It's amazing what it will do. So, can you share some standout moments or milestones in RIDGID's journey into pressing tools?
Yeah, so my favorite moments are always when we're with the customer. So that's, sometimes on a job site, that's sometimes at dinner, sometimes at a bar. There's been times where I've had people say, man, it's so cool to have you guys here, just talking plumbing, talking about how we can help make everyone's lives easier. But for us, the biggest milestone lately goes back to the installation of our plant for pressing jaws. So we've been manufacturing jaws here in America for a long time, but it was just a tremendous week 2-3 weeks ago to have everybody up there, to have a ribbon cutting ceremony, customers, plumbers, media, and it's just really exciting to see there.
Yeah, I when I was there for the experience, they were still working on it and stuff, but everyone was excited that they're bringing all that to that location. It's all going to be in-house right there, and that does a lot because you can control the engineering, you control the testing. It's all right there. If something's wrong, you catch it right there. You're not going trying to track everything down. So being in-house just makes it takes it to the next level. Yeah,
and it just happens to be 2 floors below Joe and I. So as a product manager, to be able to walk down into the factory and see our products being made right there is just it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a dream.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sweet. So this was a multi-million-dollar investment you guys made in a new pressing jaw line. What was the driving force behind it?
Yeah, so over the past 25 years, more and more people have gotten into press. So that adoption curve is still really strong, and you see it with the different pipe types that are being added with ACR press in the last 7-8 years now. You still see people just now adopting press. So the demand for press is just growing exponentially, and with that demand, we have to keep up with our capacity. So the driving force of this was really to build on our capacity and to continue to make things right here in America.
Yeah.
Sweet. So when you manufacture in-house, that means you can test in-house and you can do all kinds of stuff. Now, while I was up there, I watched them pressure test some wrenches. That was kind of cool to see. That was kind of scary to see, but it was really cool to see. So you have that control, and the quality control just takes it to the next level, being right there, being able to grab a jaw off the line, go check it and see, check the tolerances. And it's really exciting. So anything else that helps you guys do having it right there?
Yeah, so, we pride ourselves on the quality in our products, and the quality standard for us has always been incredibly high, but we're always looking to step it up one more notch, and that's really what we did with this focus plant, and it really centers around repeatable processes. So, making sure that we bring quality checks closer to the equipment and repeating that over and over again to ensure that we are living up to the highest standard that we strive for.
Yeah, when I was there, they were talking about making the dies and cutting everything, and they test everything, it's just nonstop testing to make sure everything's perfect. It's that RIDGID name, so it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, you think about the innovation in our tools, and that's mirrored in the manufacturing processes that we have, and really that results in that quality in that tool.
Yeah, it was definitely impressive to see. I want to get back there and check out the new stuff too. So
yeah, you're always welcome in Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm gonna try to get out there here soon. It's a cool facility. The schoolhouse was really cool to go in there and see all the different products, and they're all there. You can pick them up, you can hold them, you can use it. It's an amazing facility you guys have. The pride of all the workers though. It's second to none. Everyone's thrilled to be there. Everyone's thrilled to have people come in and show off what they do. I think the guy in the wrench testing has been doing that for years and years and years. And we all came in there and he was so excited. He's like, okay, we're going to bend this. So let's do it. He was all excited to do it. So everyone enjoys their job. They enjoy their time there, and it shows in your products.
Yeah, we had an anniversary luncheon just a few weeks ago. I was amazed at how many people have been at the company for more than 35 years. So we had one individual that's been with the company 53 years. He works up in our foundry. So we have a foundry where our wrenches are casted up in Erie, PA. We assemble them in Cleveland, but the amount of tenure within our company is amazing, and it really speaks to that passion that I mentioned earlier and that loyalty that we have from our employees. It really starts there.
A lot of knowledge, right? Wealth of knowledge, 50-some years. Wow.
Yeah, I was amazed at how those wrenches actually go together. I thought it was going to be a lot this can't be that hard. And he made it look simple, and I went over there and struggled, and I couldn't get mine together. So how long have you been there?
I've been with RIDGID for just under 5 years now.
Nice.
So yeah. Yeah, all in press tools. So it's exciting for me to see the advancements that we've made down, in our jaw area specifically. So that's cool that you were at RIDGID Experience when you kind of saw the development of that, and then you got to see the ribbon cutting. So it only makes sense for you to come back and a little while to see where we're at now.
I think I'll have a trip in that area coming up, and I think later this summer I'll be up in that area. So I may have to harass Maddie and get her to let me come in, show me around. Maddie is my buddy. I always tag her and everything. She does a really good job of everything she does there. So
She definitely does. There's no doubt about that.
But it just goes back to everybody's happy to be there. Everybody has that pride, and it shows in everything you guys do.
Yeah. We've launched 5 tools in the last 5 years, and
that's a lot.
It's unheard of in the press industry. We basically retrofitted all of our platforms, and we'll do that again, and that's what our employees really love being part of, that process from beginning to end.
I will tell you, the best thing everyone said about the RIDGID Experience was when they heard that thing pop. That was their favorite thing. Everyone lost it when it made that pop.
That has that RIDGID pop.
I was dying. That was an experience. So.
Yeah, I forgot. That's my favorite feature. I should have led with that.
Everybody's so excited for that. So that's cool. I don't know. I don't have anything else. We can just talk for a little bit. So what's your guys' take of the show so far?
It's been great. It's a lot of traffic down here. People walking around. It's unreal.
Construction people. Yeah, there's a comic thing going on, so you never know what you're going to see out there on the road when you're running around. So
yeah, but even in the booths, the traffic's the foot traffic throughout the booths is just phenomenal this year. Everyone's here that you want to talk to, and that's what's important. I will say, we really enjoyed Chicago as well last year, but you can't beat the weather down here.
No. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I got here. She was looking forward to it. We came in. She's like, it's in the 80s every single day. And I was like, well, it's in the 30s at home, so enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're going back to a snowstorm, actually. So
Yeah.
Sweet. So all your jaws are made there. I do a lot of stuff with RLS, and that's a great platform. And I was excited last year when you guys released that partnership with them. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing what else you guys do with them.
Yeah, we've worked with RLS from the get-go. I think it was 2017, 2018, and they really have a tremendous fitting. We love the circular press on that fitting. We love the soft copper, the long 90s, long 45s that really limit the pressure loss in the system. They really have a nice fitting, and we're happy to partner with them and have jaws that are compatible with their fittings.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because I'm sure you've got meetings and all kinds of stuff to do. But I appreciate you coming on, Mike. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's good to see you again, Joe.
Yeah.
You guys have welcomed me into the family, and I will be at WET next week. So I don't know if you guys are going to be there, but I will be there.
We won't personally be there, but we will have a contingent there, a large contingent. So you'll be able to hang out with our drain cleaning and our camera folks. And they're just as passionate as us.
I'm just amazed at the stuff that's there, though. Like, because I'm not a plumber. I do commercial kitchen equipment. That's my deal. I do drains. I do some out-the-wall plumbing, so I'll do some water lines and stuff going to filters and the equipment, that kind of stuff. So I do use press, but like that drain cleaning, so I'm just fascinated to learn new stuff, and like I get so jealous every time I see a new drain cleaner come out. I was like, man, that'd be cool to use. I'm like, I don't know if I want to clean drains though.
Yeah, you have to check out social media and check us out at the WET because we've got some new tools that we've launched. Hand spinner, great functionality in terms of actuating, moving the chain forward and back, and then kickstand on it. Again, feedback on that's been wonderful, and I'm sure everybody's going to love that at WET.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking about the 25-year anniversary, the RP251, and all pressing technology. You guys, when it comes to pressing, are the leaders in it.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Pat. Yep. Appreciate it.
Yep. We're thrilled to be here. Thank you again, Pat.
Have a good day.
Yep. Thank you.
If you guys would, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the podcast. It really helps us grow and helps us know which direction to move in. Also, if you have any suggestions for guests, please email me at commercialkitchenchronicles@gmail.com. Or if you want to be a guest, email me. Love to have you guys on. Thanks a lot. See you next week.